Let's get into a Dust2 game. Good morning, everyone.
I'm very interested to see how this one shakes on out because we heard from the ever humble Hobbit. You know, he's given us the old cliche. But we know in the best of ones, this is the chance for an upset for anybody within the top 30, I would say right now. Fiend, definitely not the bookmakers' friends by any means, but Dreamer kicks things off in stylish fashion. Hobbit falls into trades, and now it's Red Star, the man of the moment, creeping out long. Yeah,
I'm glad he got a bit of a mention on the desk as well, because I was saying to you before we went live that he's one of the players I have been impressed by previously in the Voivode matchups prior to being signed by Fiend. I mean, they were in the market for a while.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of squads out there, but these guys have shown some talent. And now, like, the names here is we have a little bit of a lull in play. Bubble, Victor, they'll be ones that people know from home. Dreamer as well.
I'm really hyped for Dreamer. You know, just to be given another chance. The slate wiped clean. And being able to pursue his dream all the way to that major circuit. Be interested to see if that new kind of guarantee of motivation. Oh, good shot. Inter's taking another head. That's 2 so far in the round. They are pressuring into the B side. Bubble, he's going to fall as well. He's got another on the Glock long range. It's actually a well-timed shot. He does fall in the process. Just Red Star, the aforementioned new star. Not quite going to be finding that head. Axar looking good. First blood drawn for him in the round. 1-0 to Gambit.
Yeah, have to give a massive thumbs up to Gambit there for not over-rotating after Red Star's walked out long with that P250. He's had 2 engagements. He's forced a lot of fights there, and they didn't leave that B bomb site. That's the right call. They picked themselves up the pistol. And Fiend, they're going to respond straight back here with what looks to be a 4-spy. Red Star, Victor straight into those Mac 10s. It's a Deagle for Dreamer, P250 for Bubble, and Walmart, he's got himself that Juan as well. Couple of smokes and flashes to work with for this one. And they're sending the lion's share of the forces up towards B tunnels. They're just setting up behind this molly.
Yeah, there's no one from mid, so they're not going to be having any kind of doors smoke or CT smoke. They just want to brute force it. His shoulders visible. Look at how little he uses to get that information safely. You weren't going to be hitting a headshot with the angle he adopted there. It was barely a shoulder blade.
Feels very claustrophobic for Fiend right now. They know that Gambit are a team that gives some respect. They don't push too much on these CT sides. So working with that now, creeping in behind the lurk smoke. Damage heard.
Yeah, they'll be hearing that. Nafany especially. Lots of sound cues for him to build upon. UMP should be set for success. Oh, he's a bit late on the trigger there. They have access to the site.
He's in trouble.
Very dangerous for Inters. He's calling upon the help of Hobbit on the flash. And Hobbit does arrive exactly when he needed to. Won't be finding more, though. Victor still over the smoke. 2 frags to his name. Very low, and even lower is Dreamer. And that's got a high impact. If you consider 2 frags high impact, but no bomb plan, that's probably what they desired with an investment like that.
Yeah, considering how much traction they got into the bomb site, you'd be looking for a plant in that scenario off the 4-spy. And the B bomb site, you get that bomb down. We talk about how difficult it is to retake, but Inters did a great job, dropped that defensive smoke, played around it, and secures Gambit their second. Fiend have actually dropped an AK across here, so they want to continue to fight, maybe keep control of this Gambit CT economy here. A scout for Bubble. It's another 4-spy. They've just gone all in, shoved as freeze time is finished, and well, Bubble taking some fights, taking some tags, and takes down Nafany.
And some information as well. He knows there's another closed doors. Shiro's going to be forced to drop his smoke just simply to reposition as well as buy time. They've gathered long. The smoke's kept them at bay for now.
Yeah, it's just Bloom. So we've got about 15 seconds left on that one. Axal on the corner pivoting right here, and Shiro still in float. If they head back towards B, it's just Inters here on his lonesome, but that would take a lot of time.
And a lot of scouting from Dreamer. He's only got the Desert Eagle and Kevlar. So it seems intentions are to keep the B site honest initially, just with Dreamer. The rest going to be forging a path off the Xbox smoke through long.
Oh, it's another door smoke here from Hobbit. He's just come over and assisted Axal.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, and Axal's tucked in towards the back of pit now, so he's going to fight to the death from this position unless he keeps moving.
But they did drop the Xbox smoke. There is no info. Can we check Shiro's POV? He's holding passive. They have no information up mid.
And they've gambled back towards A, so Axal's actually rotated away from that pit position, looking to help Hobbit out, who, well, he's about to be in trouble. 4 players lurking out that long door now. Axal and Hobbit have to defend this A side on their lonesome.
Yeah, how equipped are they for it? M4 certainly seems like the good weapon for the job. Incendiary as well could come in to play a part, and they use the smoke just to clear that pit securely.
30 seconds now, though.
Get a bit tight on time, you're right, and that was a chance. Tip of the head visible. He actually gets the repeat and the tag. Axal softened up for those Desert Eagles, and they'll start their advance now. 20 seconds. Victor does find Hobbit important into the site. Axal needs one, and he loses his head instead. M4 recovered. Bomb needs to be planted. 15 seconds. It's Victor's responsibility from behind, though. Inters is caught. Dreamer executes, and there you have it. Fiend, patience, And persistence pays off.
Yeah, well, that force buy was so late out of spawn there. I was very concerned when you see the purchases coming in after the 20 seconds of freeze time, right? You've got a lot of time to talk through the round. And the fact that they did it as freeze time had already finished, question marks, but they convert. And now it's Gambit who have to question the economy.
Big thanks to Bubble as well. I don't think that round feels that easy if you don't get an early man advantage through that door scout spam.
Yeah, I think he was counting his lucky stars that he got himself a bit of a fight there early, but
oops,
was lining up the Xbox smoke, does not throw it on out, and it's a good call because they're going B while the rest of Gambit are all eco stacking over towards this long position. Flash in Hobbit's hand.
It's going to be the brave boy.
Yeah, it's unlikely that they find much traction now that the side is given up. Bubble's going to run in first, Mac 10 in hand. He'll be clearing things out as the scout. The Flash is there to aid as he's already completely cleared this out. The bomb should be going down.
Concentration face as well. That dude is, yeah, he's zoned in right now. They have got a chance to make such a high impact. I mean, you look, they've played so many Counter-Strike games pre-Fiend, pre-DreamHack Masters, but to have the opportunity to now to just really make a flex and a statement up against Gambit. Everyone wants to take Gambit's scalp. Don't forget their win-loss ratio. Like, there's a very short list of teams that have taken Gambit down. And a best of one is a perfect environment to start it.
Yeah, very true. This year you can look at Gambit's rise to power and how few games that they've lost. And there's a word that I want to, kind of like a label I want to attribute to them, right? Because they're playing fantastic CS, there's no doubt about that, but it's the efficiency at which they're doing it, right? Like they go into every game and they're getting the most out of every round, every situation, every fight, every save. They don't let any of those little mistakes or giving up a kill, giving up a gun, they don't allow any of those things to really fall and spiral out of control, which is why you watch these guys play and it's so impressive.
It's like what you've got all of the nerdy things you used to spot and occasionally get excited about
all the time
condensed into a team that does it all the time.
It's like a buffet when you watch Gambit. You know, you don't know what you want more of. You keep going back. It's all you can eat.
And you end up with a full
belly
belly and a 17 win streak.
Yeah, well, other team's going home with that headache, the food coma, that's for sure. Flash out towards long here from Shiro. It's no presence early. Lots of B presence from Fiend again, right? 4 players towards upper tunnel. It looks like they're just setting up for a pounce. They want to punish this B bomb site. Inters and Nafany to defend. Not the best weapons for the job here. Bit of an omission for Inters. Utility over firepower. Leaves him with an MP9. A good position. How long are Fiend going to take on this? Hinge smoke comes out. Obscures vision up towards short. Third man in float of Hobbit here can help one out, but they're walking in.
Just behind the taps, yeah, it's silent and it's deadly as well. There goes Inters. Nafany in jeopardy, no chance.
Has to be a save.
Well, that's unless Hobbit finds another quickly. He's sticking around, does find impact, and there's a chance, a very minor one. Spray does go a little awry, and now they have access to the site. Red Star gets that bomb down, and I assume they're just going to posture for exits here.
Right now, we've got Shiro and Axel clearing out short, so they're going to try and deal with anybody lurking towards middle. We can see on the radar that nobody's home, nobody's lurking, nobody's flanking or looking for a hunt. But while Gambit spend time checking for any lurks, they're wasting time on the retake. And yeah, it is the standard Gambit play, right, to go for the saves, to play the percentages. And here they'll be doing exactly that, holding on to the AWP for Shiro going forward. Very, very important. And the loss bonus into the next round, we're looking at the 2,400 mark. So, look, we could probably drop some Famises across if we'd like, or we could take a save. But when you save 3 rifles, I'm more leaning, right, in the side that you should buy behind it, because the thought process is if the other guys just go for a lighter buy and then you end up losing the AWP, that M4, you're not going to be able to buy that in the future rounds.
And also, you know, take a look out at the finances of your opponent. This is T's side. They've already got 10 grand in the bank. You really want to be taking these AKs and Kevlars away, forcing those rebuys of all those utility sets. Yes. And yeah, it's very hard to resist. This is also why, Chad, at times you start conversations on the desk where it makes more sense to let them save in some kooky early round scenarios.
Yeah, because look at the buy here again. Nafany into a Famis and Inters into an MP9, right? Like, it's not much worse than what they had last round, but it's still not ideal.
It was enough to punish. I mean, we saw, like, Inters is playing a close corner by virtue of the MP9, and suddenly you're losing the B site. Those small changes could be enough to be a differentiating factor. We're into on, what is this now, 6th round of play. They've got a 3-man lean, so that punishment onto B has been felt and responded.
And now it's more of a default spread, actually more of a heavy long lean here. This is interesting from Fiend. They just have 3 players. Okay, Dreamer, what is that? Through the smoke, Nafany down, he's going in for some more.
Cool your jets, son. He's actually right next to him and jumping through the smoke. Inters will find an equalizer as well as an AK-47. Axel, prime position for punishment here, but nice work from Red Star. Does his due diligence, checks his corners. Shiro in trouble, 1 shot, they know where you are. Molly coming, he prepares for it, has the premonition. Won't be able to recover, surely not far off the mark, he's in trouble. And now he's gone, 55 in on the clock and already a man advantage. They could push the issue. Looking to cross safely, smokes pop. And bomb will go down shortly. That looks great for Fiend for 4.
Have a couple of nades left for this though, Gambit. And as Hobbit rounds Cat, Inta's still towards spawn. They're having a look in. Need to find a frag and quickly. Bomb down.
Yeah, off this flash would be great. Off the second, perhaps. He'll set up for it again,
Called
or
it
even
off.
just called it off. Yeah, okay, Inta's, sorry about that.
Peek, sees nobody. We're saving.
And that smoke couldn't be any more indicative of such. Jesus, get out of there. But once again, I mean, this is a big, colossal dub for Fiend. Not only the round, but the fact that Gambit are going to be in this awkward state again, as we discussed, where it may not be all of the Ghiblies.
And no AWP this time round, right? Because last round was the 2,400 loss bonus. This time it's the 2,900 loss bonus. They're on the fringe of another buy again, but I think with only 2 rifles saved, this time it might just be the partial investment. You know, get a couple of deagles, keep those 2 M4s up.
Certainly, but now how on earth are you supposed to contest? Fiend have proven that they'll do long and convey, or rather converge onto your B site when it's vulnerable.
Yeah, so far it's been quite pack-rolly from Fiend, right? The explosions into the B bomb site just out long there with 3 or 4 of them as well. So an option here for Gambit on a round like this where they are just going to partially invest around these saved rifles is just something a little bit more aggressive, right? Take the fight to them, set the tone, set the pace of these rounds instead of sitting back and just receiving.
Yeah.
Because if you start to force Fiend to now question what they're doing within the mid-rounds, within the start, they're comfortable in their own territory right here. Make it a little bit more awkward for them. Because 4 on the trot looking very, very good here.
Kill distribution looking great as well. Good to see Victor still in form, starting strong as he means to go on. Red Star matching him at the top of the scoreboard on the server tonight. Tonight, it's dark in the studio. You'll forgive me.
In Australia, it's night time.
You'll forgive me. It's
I'll
dark in
save
the
you with that
studio.
one.
I've just woken up. Good morning to everyone that is having Counter-Strike and Cheerios to start their day.
Matthew typed in the group this morning at 8:01. I swear he's been awake since like 6 a.m. or something.
Honestly, I think he actually drove to the mountains, had a mountain walk,
and then come back in time.
milked the cows for his morning coffee, then started his Counter-Strike analyst style.
They've done exactly what I said. Take the fight to them. Shiro's hit a tag. Look at that defensive smoke it forced out a bubble. Look how passive they are in T-spawn right now. They have no idea with the territory that they've lost. They're very scared, Fiend.
Yeah, they know it's coming. Something's cooking. Shiro very deadly on the scout, but he's been tagged up.
Doesn't want to give the red
He
life
wants to
here.
challenge. Red Star's willing to connect a second.
Double dipped.
This is what he was waiting for, but they do seem to be checking their corners very, very precisely. Mars not going to be caught out by any of this, and they're just happy to wait. This is where Chad Birchall's shouting at me in my games. Everybody stand still.
Yeah, freeze. Just breathe at this moment. Still have a minute on the clock. You know that the CTs are desperate. You know that they've already gone for a couple of pushes. Why not expect a few more? And if they don't probe on out, you just regroup and you trade efficiently, right? Good spacing, good utility usage. For Fiend right now, they are stocked as far as nades go. The HP of Bubble and Mar, right? Look, it's not fantastic. But, they can mitigate those issues if they just stand up over towards A, but... Look at this, 35 seconds, Alex. They're creeping towards B.
And no info long. This is going to be Red Star now trying to get something. Oh, and losing him
They're going to get forced into B. Both rifles are here. This could be terrible.
This could very well be 3 versus 5 now entirely equalized, and Hobbit's still firing off into 2 heads. Dreamer's gone, and so is Fiend. Their hopes and dreams of a 5th denied. Axile's come for more, and may even grab the AWP for Shiro if he's got fastest shoes on.
Ooh.
No.
Didn't tie him up properly.
No, those loose laces for sure.
Do get in the way. But that right there really fell apart for Fiend. It was the aggressive scout tag in middle, the passive smoke drop from Bubble, and then they had no real estate. They're not doing the standard smoke Xbox or smoke to the door hinge, get short control, make sure there's no aggression there, make sure there's no pushes. They had to deal with players lower dark, mid doors, and then they just walk into the B bomb site and get absolutely dismantled. So Gambit with their 3rd, Fiend on notice.
They're going to be looking for an early impact here. This would be great from Red Star. I think he gets
Molly missed.
a little bit dissuaded. He's able to hold the line, yeah. Not deep enough on the incendiary.
You need to be careful about that here, because now that Red Star's been able to hold this territory the entire time, they might want to walk a rifle out while he holds this corner. Mars here.
It's a very passive setup from the CTs. Axile will be vulnerable to the walk-up blue bin. Cognizant that that's his responsibility. He is entirely on his own, and this is a flash designed for him. He hears it, can't turn it, can't afford to, does so though, and just tugs in, finding Mar. That's colossal. Rotate's coming in, but he doesn't need help. Shiro's just there for fun, for support. He needs this one onto Winters, lost it last time. You can see the spray from Naf, and he's there to deter the peak. And as it fades, Dreamers, oh, he's been tagged. That's the sound cue Inters has been dreaming of. and he'll finish off the job with ease. A chance perhaps on towards the long side. They open up finally, knocking Exile down. But 2 versus 5. They did just concede a 5v3 advantage. Perhaps this is their turn to respond in kind. Look at their crossfire, it's very nice, but that's a great shot, and just like that, they're in. Smokes on the cross, they know the B players are there. Nafany last spotted B. Bombs across, Red Star in support, they're doing it, missed shot, Red Star, that is a punishing miss. And he's lost it to Nafany. Doesn't even give him a chance.
Oh dear, makes the jumping M4 look way too easy, and they're even going to walk away from this round with double AWP, so things looking great for Gambit.
Oh, there was a real chance for them there, real moment.
You think about it, right? If there were 2 smokes on the cross, then Nafany doesn't get the chance on that fight. Red Star's not peeking so aggressively because they'd already done the hard work of getting into the bomb site, but worried about more players lying in wait. Is the undoing, and we will be seeing things tied up at 4-4, and great stuff here from Axar. Look, he just knows in his heart of hearts he has to just win the fights. It comes down to as simple as that, right? When you're on an island there's no support, there's no flashes. Just line that crosshair up and knock him down.
Really cool to see Gambit's early CT procedures for handling the B lurk smoke. Like, they've had it twice now, with the boost and the sound cue from a teammate spamming any of the potential walkouts. Combined, it seems to be a pretty solid way to keep that B lurk player from having any early impact.
Yeah, I wonder if we're going to see Fiend now transition away from this long and B-centric play, because we haven't seen the standard mid-defaults playing with the rotations, drawing out the... Exactly, right? So we might just go into the regular playbook right now, because seeing them go for these more, not gambly plays, but more all-in plays, it's worked for them, and now it's starting to taper off. So a few more options to be looked into here. Red Star back on the big green. Elevated angle up and over, and it looks like a fast pace. So yeah, back to much of a muchness with the defaults.
Oh, the flash off Shiro enables Bubble to take some space. Unfortunately, he does make it as clear as can be that he was fully blind and is there. That's the shot he had to hit. Shiro provides the first.
Pace change has fallen flat here. They were very quick to run on down and take short and mid control, but now that they've been stopped by that Shiro AWP, they have to look for a pick of their own, and Gambit not known for giving away too many openings without a plan.
Oh, it looks improvised, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was a team flash, unfortunately, so the timing of that was just a little bit off.
No hinge smoke. They react off the incendiary trajectory, enough of an indication that they can do so safely, and now they have maneuvered into a 4-man short stack. They'll be going on the smokes here. Looks like a Vanguard. Molly CT. Jump CT! Nafany can't believe his luck. He's just been fed a freebie. Bubbles down. They tried their chances. Shiro's going to punish Mar on the jiggle, and this is just all too easy for Gambit. One by one, they'll collect them, stamping their time cards. If you get another Dreamer, I'll start to believe in this dream. A missed shot, he can punish, and he does. Finding another head, starting to make this 1v5 slightly more realistic. Hobbit's coming in from short. CT a threat. Powerful position, a little util to play with from the CTs. He's already evaded the first flash. One more remains. Molotov could force him out should it arrive ramp. Hobbit on short. To isolate these jewels, he can't quite put it on the head. A valiant attempt, though, from Dreamer, keeping Gambit honest.
Yeah, good crack of the whip right there. Almost gets him across the line. That would have been impressive stuff. Maybe thinking he is dreaming 1v5 in Gambit in fashion like that, but Gambit will now get themselves back the lead. 5 on the board, the plant down again, and that economy that you were talking about earlier, it's still in reach right now for Fiend to go for another buy. Hopefully, you know, they haven't just had that spurt in the early stages and now they taper off because Gambit is starting to get into the game. I don't want that to be the case because it started off as quite the competitive affair, but that would probably be the most likely scenario. And
I can, of course, be Captain Hindsight saying that that round was the most worrying of the bunch so far. That looked like a team that just lost the early frag and then tried to improvise their way against Gambit. I don't think you can improvise a round against Gambit unless that mid-round calling is absolutely A1. Yeah, it's very difficult when they're playing by the book and they're the ones who are now writing the new book, right? They've got that Australis book. Sure. They read all the pages. They went, this is a good one. Yeah. Now we're going to do one of our own where we never take our foot off the gas. Yeah, they're like writing a new paper. Like, you know, it's a whole new field. Australis submitted theirs. That's true, okay. It's different research. It was a monumental study at the time. It changed the face of the entirety of Counter-Strike with their study, but now a new study's being undergone. Conducted. Thank you so much. That's what, I don't know. I don't do enough studies to know what the actual verb is. You and I did any studies, if I'm going to be honest with the people at home. Most of mine was just taking screenshots of After Effects.
I dug a couple of holes and bent a bit of pipe with some sand.
That's a very deep CT smoke. Okay, well, cancel anything we had in store for the first 15. I wonder if Gambit have got any more in their...
They have 3 here. They know what is coming. They have 3 players already on the bomb site.
Bonk. That'll
4
hurt.
players tagged up by that one.
And then all taps into everyone that wants to set up. It's so perfect. Here's another one. They're ahead of it. Hobbit should ruin this though, and he has. Oh, it's a disaster for Fiend. Oh, they just melt like butter on a hot summer's day. 6 now for Gambit.
All right, well, that is a convincing round and a half right there. 6-4.
Great read.
How far are they going to stretch their legs, Gambit? I was thinking about the veto on the way in. I'm really glad, like, when the vetoes, the boys do it now. So I'm just like, yeah, that's what I was thinking too,
hey,
right?
He's got a point.
I was thinking about it on the way in, and I was like, okay, so train, vertigo, overpass. You probably don't want to go to any of those maps, right? So you're going to end up somewhere like a Dust2. You're not going to get to the Inferno. And, well, this is not a playground that you want to mess around with Gambit. Molly towards the long doors, dissuades this. Okay,
Hello.
Bubble in the Scout, maybe. This is where it gets started again.
Yeah, he did start their forced by win with the very same opening frag. Shiro, no warp for impact. Nafany losing an AK and it's in enemy hands now. Bubble tags one. It's Hobbit very much on notice. He does stabilize, as does Axar, desperately trying to take more on the cross. 2 is all he can report. A competitive round established.
This is all on Inters, really. Hobbit is very low. Picked
Long
up that
plan.
AWP.
Ooh.
Oh, no!
That's a disaster, losing Red Star as they were trying to set up for the long plant. Are you brave? Not that brave. He's not going to try and cross. Instead, he's now going to be walking straight into the Lion's Den. Inter's there, going around the world with the AWP, and doesn't matter. Inters has got it covered.
Oh, there's another round that felt like it could have fallen apart there for Gambit. Great shooting from Fiend, right? They have that explosive nature about them early. If they hit that shot, it feels like they're ready to snowball. But Axar from Car really just destroying them as they cross the bridge. You can see the bodies strung on out there. Guns will be back out. The plant is fantastic. So considering what that round was, that was an exciting little prospect there for
Thank you,
Fiend.
Bubble. Let's
Yeah.
see what he did. Just in front of the smoke. It's like a lovely green screen, just so Shiro really pops.
It's so
behind the
naughty
background.
with the Scout, though, isn't it? Like the movement speed
God.
that you have. You know, you feel like you're on skates half the time, just rolling around the place.
Yeah, and if you get really good at that, like counter strafe and click sync, ooh, it just looks like you never stop moving.
Sweaty stuff. Back towards B.
Sending Shiro with the AWP, no less. He's going to peek over this.
Oh,
that's
double dunked.
Something.
Lots of damage done there. DreamHack has his hands off mouse and keyboard. Let's hope he gets it back on in time. Looks like it.
So he's had his scope committed. He's flashed off the AWP, but he's managed to hold the tight line. Dreamer.
He's going to push.
For now, Shiro's just going to confirm the AWP is on B. That's a lovely gift. An AWP shot. Heard by all 10.
Well, now they're going with the default spread, right? Short control being taken here. They've really pestered that B bomb side a lot, so Inters needs to stay on high alert. Shiro already low from those nades, and if we take a quick look, have a recount of Fiend's utility. Few smokes, few flashes to work with, and a couple of mollies. If they just want to set up for a classic short execute, they might be on for success. But look at Nafany over towards Car with the secondary AWP and a boatload of utility for him, playing helper between A and Long. And well, Long might need his help first here.
I don't know, Axel seems to be good for a double almost every time he's been tested here. Turns the flash and delivers heads. This time, bit of an exception provided by Bubble.
Big
A
miss.
Huge miss. Double enabled by Bubble. And now Trouble. Hobbit only the one. That's surely going to be Fiend putting another T round on the board. They're so disconnected from it. Shiro and Inters
Save call.
heading back to T spawn, and that's provided entirely by virtue of that AWP miss. Couldn't get control of that Long.
Yeah, it was a well-timed split, right? Hobbit did good to get... Oh, they're chasing already. They're already on the hunt. Ma was already looking in towards T-spawn. That's put Inters down to below half HP, 34 to be exact. And if they do want to look for more kills here, Fiend, you know where they are. Not advisable considering the state of the economy just now. We still have a few more rounds in this first half to play on out. Victor, Red Star, and Bubble will all be able to save over towards Long, and I think Inters and Shiro could do the same thing towards the backyard of the B bomb site. So all in all, looking pretty good, 7-5. Bomb about to go off, and there you go. So there, that was, you know, much more of a default round that we're talking about, and you can just see how skittish they are over towards that B bomb site. They've had 3-man stacks over there. They've been, you know, having different setups with the spam that you were talking about. They are really respecting Dreamer and his lurk, which is a great tool to have. Some lurkers right? You know, your long lurk, your B lurk, they can be passive because the idea is to just live on those extremities. But if you can have a lurker who can find a pick or just be an annoying type of player to soak through some utility, it's a great little find. On out, standard default spread. But Victor went for a pick and Shiro's too quick. Flashes you like, and well, 4v5 with 1:40 left on the clock. This is going to be a difficult one for Fiend to find Stead back in. They haven't looked good after the opening deaths.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going to take it. Or in contrast, perhaps Gambit have been incredibly good in conversion of their 4v5 advantages.
Oh, naded and tagged.
Something. Dreamer brought even lower. Bubbles already caught some flack as well. They are the walking wounded in pursuit of a sixth. And I will also iterate, in a best of one environment, Dust2, a lot of T-sides tend to be where your majority of rounds are found in modern day Counter-Strike. If they can keep this gap as close as possible, keep Gambit CT side within that 8-7, one way or the other, I think many would consider that a very competitive half. Fiend are within reach of it.
I think what they've got so far is looking pretty good. One more, even one more, I'd be really happy with that if I was Fiend, considering the losing pistol.
Hobbit, is he really going to punish that? He's caught Bubble completely off guard. They even had an incendiary landing upon his corpse. Now charred remains. Anthony's ready, and so is Inters. Oh, they don't need any help.
Clean up.
B-site tidied up, and look at that. Just all 5 hearts still beating. AK's recovered. It is a dream right now for Gambit.
Ooh, 3 players from Fiend can still buy, though, right? You can see that Victor could drop an AK. Red Star can drop one as well, and he won't have the AWP unless they rejig their purchases around. But that was a great opening from Shiro there. The flashes were good. You can see he's blind as you like. And then they always seem to have 2 players over towards this B bomb site. Gambit, at least. I think that's Shockwave in the background as the coach. Someone maybe let me know if I'm right or if I'm wrong. If I remember rightly, I think he was coaching the team back when they won WESG in 2018, which was just Victor and Bubble. Ships and Poison were both on that team. Maybe there's some more household names from the region that people might be remembering. But that was a long time ago, 2018 now, jeez. Had a classic casting duo for the time, Alex. It was me and Trace Dunn the Saranthus. As you can imagine, we did the grand final.
I remember that, actually. I remember that well.
We gave it the beans. Oh, we do have the B stream as well here. If you want to check out what's going on between Team Spirit and G2 Esports in their opening round as well, head over to twitch.tv/ESL_CSGO B or B.
I can do the whole alphabet like that. Bang. Again, I've just got deja vu. I could have sworn this is how the previous round started. And early chip damage dealt to Red Star. This is unfavorable to say the least. It's not been strong suit of Fiend overcoming the 4v5 disadvantage, especially now that one-shot headshot is equipped in every facet for Gambit.
Oh dear, this is just going to explode.
Yep. And Shiro doesn't miss. Oof, does catch a bullet. That's a good start. A nade could finish off the job. They need to take him off his perch. He's still hitting shots. Oh, it's all too easy. Shiro expels them from the site. A full 5-man frag fest. 9 for Gambit. They are leading their way and charging their way to an opening game. Could very well be 10 here as well. Just they're going to be a Red Star scout.
Not looking great, is it? It has really tapered off a little bit here. The 6 on the nose to close out the half. I think the confidence for the Bulgarians would be fantastic to take forward. But it's going to come through an opening pick, right? When they found those opening kills, when they've been gifted those scout opportunities, it has looked a little bit more likely. So here he is again. This time Red Star, not Bubble. Xbox Smoke lands, quickly trundling on down, noisy as you like, and they're going to be quick towards the mid doors. Might be a fast B split here. Definitely going to be a fast B split.
Yeah, Nafany wants to get the incendiary down. They're going to be already out, though. No incendiary in his pocket, but the timing on the peak, he does catch Bubble just as the pin is pulled. It's a great punish. More nade damage found, rotates on its way. They're charging into the tunnels as well, hiding behind the bricks. Victor, back turned, setup too good. Red Star Scout finds something, but unless Mars got a full 1v3 inside of him, this is a 10-5 half. There it is, secured. Hobbit, 15-6 on the half. Solid stuff all around. Gambit versus Fiend returns after the break.
just shake the ground. Oh, it's like it will fill the air around. Oh, not asleep or awake. I won't let the future escape. Burning dreams take me back to you. In the night when I heard your call. We're not the only ones. We're not the only ones. We're not the only ones. We're not the only ones.
Well, it was a beautiful start to round 14 for Shiro as he finds 5 of his 11 total in the course of the first half here. So kicking off DreamHack Masters, we do have Gambit clashing with Fiend in a beautiful ace on that orb. You can see they're all sitting ducks to the big green, supported in the Hobbit flashbangs. Going into start of the second half, Chad, you said you'd be happy with 5 or 6. Well, 5 they'll be working with, and seems Yanko as well was taking a little commentary on Twitter just about the fact that they did take the risk of kind of forcing that economy and jostling for economy control. Gave them a couple of rounds early.
Yeah, that led to that 4 that you can see on your screen right here as we bring up the round recap before we get the second half underway. Now, I think the pistol is integral. This is a best of 1. If you lose both pistols and you're not winning a 4-spy situation, which they did in the first half, but around too late, you might find yourself in a world of hurt. So we'll get this one underway. Utility out for the likes of Nafny and a mid-push here from Dreamer and Victor. They're straight into lower. This is about to bang.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of contact early, especially, Bubble couldn't finish the job. With their back turned,
oh, no.
Shiro's ready for the whole
They're
push.
all dead.
No way it's over already. There is one man, Mar. Not long for this world either. Okay, so 11 is secured. Right out of the gate, Shiro's got a cheeky smile on his face. Their whole game plan revolved around the tons push, and they've just been melted in 2 clicks of a P250.
Yeah, didn't even have a chance in that one whatsoever. Now, let's see. Will Fiend stick to the guns they had in the first half with the 4 spies? It is looking very likely here.
Get some more bubble scout action.
Yeah, Deagles as well. So this is not going to be easy for Fiend, but their best chance to make sure this doesn't just run away with a 16-5 scoreline. Want to keep this one as competitive as possible. Bubble tagged. Still having a look on in here. We'll drop out a CT smoke of his own towards the mid doors, and that's going to keep Gambit on notice for some cheeky-beaky pushes. They're quick to swarm around this, and Bubble trying to look over, see if he can find a head peeking a little bit too high. Nothing to be found just yet, and Shiro still overseeing things from that Death Alley position. Nafny's close, put Bubble on notice, and even forced him back towards CT spawn, so be a little bit weak right now. Just Dreamer on his lonesome. Hinge smoke, even more mystery surrounding Gambit's movements. And even more damage for Bubble as the nade lands down to 33.
God, just leave me alone.
He's trying to fake that he's crossing towards that B site, so they will have 4 over towards A to defend against this. But it's not going to be easy. Plenty of utility. Smokes, a couple of mollies, flashes, and a HE in the mix.
All right, well, it's just as they rehearsed. Utils deployed. 2 waves of it. Shiro's the first one in, and a miss from Bubble will be punished. A very long-range find, but Nafny on the Mac 10. No. Disaster for Red Star. He's lost his teammate in the process, and now they're swinging on him. Pre-fires there, as is the frag, as is the round. Just Dreamer in his armored Deagle. Hiding on and holding on. Perhaps an AK to be delivered. Ooh, not quite. Couldn't find the head. That's 3 frags from Hobbit as he's chasing 20 very early into our best of 1.
Has to be the full eco here, right? Like, you take a look at this from Fiend. You can't force buy in the same fashion as you did on the T side. Things just do not work out that way. So, should just be these pistols. Maybe a flash at best. I don't think, upgrading into a Deagle, it's not worth it. Same with the P250s. You're going to be skimping and chipping away at the grenades you're going to have in following rounds. This is just the establishing round here in the best of ones, ladies and gentlemen. If you end up taking this one, you'll continue through in the upper bracket. If you drop, you go down to the lower bracket. So still more Counter-Strike to be played. You're not out.
Yeah, and I mean, I think, you know, statistically, one expects the team that would have won the best of 3 to have a good shot of converting the best of 1. However,
Especially when it's the best team in the world.
Yeah, certainly. There is definitely that chance here at DreamHack Masters to see a lot of big names in that lower bracket early by virtue of that best of 1 wildcard.
Extra Salt Astralis later. I'm going to tell you, I think there's a real chance.
Yeah, well, we're going to be finding out where the AWPing's going to be coming from. I'm excited to see how that one does shape up, as we do see this one converted with ease. It looks like Red Star's the next on Hobbit's list. And just puts a line through his name with the Kalashnikov.
All right, well, I guess we could put a bow on this one, can't we? Just Dreamer. Hanging out, seeing if he gets some $600 kill bonuses. Like that Mackie 10. But all in all, I would say that Gambit might just evacuate towards pit, save onto what they've got. If Shiro wants, he can just take that scout out of the hands of Nafany. Nafany combined with whatever he likes, they can make this one work for days.
Now, I could call it research if I really wanted to, but I've been watching this YouTube channel called Demolition Ranch. It's just a guy that blows stuff up with guns.
Okay, it does sound like research to me.
Yeah, because, you know, he goes, what's going on? It's like, it's for like children's TV, but with like
explosives.
Murder weapons. Yeah.
Yep.
But he just like, you know, he'll say, how many, like, will a 50 caliber round, how many blocks of butter will a 50 caliber round go through? And you just, you know, I'm now much more aware of like the...
How many?
Well, it depends if it's a blue tip BMG 50 caliber round.
Okay.
That thing just blows anything up. It's essentially like a little explosive that blows you up from inside out.
Oh.
Like a real human destroyer. It's actually gross when you see what it does to clay and butter and various other squidgy substances.
Haven't looked too much into the bullets, the ammunition.
I watched a crystal ball, surprisingly strong, glass.
Wow, you went down quite the rabbit hole.
Yes,
huh?
I did. Anyway, that's the end of that. We're already into another weapon round, an important one for Fiend. Truly, this could be indicative of how competitive of a second half we're going to be getting here. That lower bracket does loom.
Excuse me, sir. Nafany didn't drop the scout. He's just keeping it, and he's taking quick short control. Sure, we got that lurk smoke, but he's deagle in hand, scout on his back, full kit of utility, short control at 1:35.
Okay, he's got some swag.
Yeah, Fiend are under the pump, and they don't even know it just yet.
So much space taken.
Even if he's... Oh, okay, never mind. He's just found himself a rifle. So what level of preparation is this from Nafany? He had the scout, brought the Galil down. He's thinking of every single option here, isn't he?
Just wanted to have that kind of favorable scout fight for the potential on that, you know, the drop-off angle.
Yeah, and also I think if he lost the scout, not the end of the world.
Oh, no, it's not that nerdy.
Maybe.
No, it could be very well. Actually, kind of makes sense. Yeah, here we go. Nafany's down to CT. They've got everything covered. We saw Fiend try something similar, but it didn't have a perfect smoke wall. And now on the mid-cross, Bubble goes down.
They get mushed.
Yes, they are, for lack of a better word, mushed. Oh, yeah, straight through the smoke, of course. Nice find. That's something, but needs another. Not going to be able to find it. I'm afraid, Red Star. You've already got your CT rotate locked down. Your teammates just abandoned you, and now you're missing shots. Nafany's going to punish, and oh, it is a catastrophe for Fiend.
I went with mush there, Alex, because what I picture is, you know, when you're playing that B-bomb side, you know when you grab your face, I got chubby cheeks, and you're like, mush your face.
That's kind of what...
That's kind of the feeling, right? That I think the B defenders have in that situation.
As soon as Bubble dies, they get mushed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, because you just... Especially the fact they're being so pesky through those smokes. Gambit just... They're well aware of like just the power of presence. Like you'll see them use it all the time, whether it's just a couple of shots to bait you into a false sense of security, whatever it may be. They're always looking to manipulate an advantage in that way. Now, early long control and early long lean, all 4 members of this A defense have lent towards the long side. I imagine this is a bit of a all-in maneuver. It looks like they've got Mar in limbo, going to be floating between the two.
Yeah, look at what nades they're working with as well. This fire is scuffed. Couple of smokes, couple of flashes.
You need to be doing stuff like this, but Axel's going to be very... Oh, good flash! Good flash!
How does he recover from that?
Still gets the frag, and even snatches the FAMAS away for recovery.
He's picking up the trash for him. And now Hobbit's taking short control.
Because they know...
They have to fill the gap of long because of the impending threat of Axel. They've given up the site. Axel is honestly just doing it all right here. Drawn them into this, smoked them off, locked them away, and now Red Star, he is pinned. Rocking a hard place.
Oh, and an impossible shot to hit. A very quick swing in Nafany. And just like that, 15 looks found. Bubble, sitting duck, going to be pressed by 2 different angles. The fact he's been given just enough space to take down one. Unfortunately, Hobbit and Axal do have his exit. He is locked.
Yeah, the thing is, they part want to go for this because they need the rounds. They don't want to concede 15, but they part want to hold on to what they have to fight in the next, and they're not getting a chance to do either right now. Just being peeled apart, picked apart, and pushed as Axal comes in from long. The low HP of Bubble, the fight on the site. Dreamer would have to get this done now.
Oh.
He's hit his shit on the coffee table there, and he. All right, well, I think that's it, Alex. I don't want to be that guy, but I'm pretty sure this one is done.
I think you're
dusted.
allowed to be the guy at this point.
Now, just to set the scene for everybody playing at home, we did see the P stream that we had up there before. This is the opening. Okay, so the flash not good enough. Axal didn't look blind whatsoever in that scenario. We do have Spirit versus G2. They have concluded the first half. Score line is 8-7 in favor of G2. So winner of G2 Spirit will go on to play the winner of this one, looking very likely to be Gambit. And the losers will obviously face each other as well. So for Fiend, it's not going to get any easier. Spirit or G2 will be waiting for them in the lower bracket, but that's when we'll be getting into the best of 3s. And a lot of Counter-Strike has been played in the last 3 days over Flashpoint, the IEM qualifiers. It's been so many games. Like, we got Mousesports versus Na'Vi coming up next. I think Mousesports played 2 back-to-back days of 4 best of 3s, right? They have been going through some crazy boot camp.
Now, Axal, you cheeky bean. We've got the triple, no, double Dag. And it has completely halted Dreamer. He waits it out, and they're going to be in B before he even gets to throw a nade. No! Oh, it's perfect. I mean, it is perfect from Gambit, isn't it?
It's so frustrating to watch. I couldn't imagine playing against it.
Yeah. And Axal, of course, he's still on long. You've been lost that duel.
The bomb has been planted.
Twice. Bomb goes down. Axal kills you as you push long doors. There's 3 now outside. Gathered for their demise. Red Star, the first to fall. Bubble stuck between a rock and a hard place, and just Mar is on the list. 16-5, Gambit. They start off with a letter and a result of intent.